it was perfect timing with Fiora getting banned out. And this is, you've heard of LCS. This is HCS, Hilliard Championship Series, or Hilliard City Schools. And this is our varsity team playing against another team, and either from Wisconsin or Ohio. I forgot to check in with the players ahead of time to see. But it's looking like it'll be a good game. Tell us a little bit about this pick band that you're seeing.
Well, we have the mystery school on the blue side from one of those states, picking that Ezreal first pick, so definitely wanting to get that poke dominance in. We'll have to see how they respond. So far for the bans, we have the Caitlyn, the Lucian, the Zoe coming out on the blue side, and on the red side, the Ornn, the Fiora, and the Hecarim. So, and now we have the Kayn coming out on the red side for Hilliard. So I know that's a champion that Hansifer is a huge fan of, recently got buffed and is very, very strong right now. So looking to see that Ross transformation most likely, and some great CC, some great healing coming out from the red side.
And something I like with Kayn, especially when you're playing a 5-man, is that you really, you know, you can have that communication, and he's very mobile, so he can, you know, make his way through the map. Oh, and it looks like we might be, getting Darius picked up for our top laner, Logical.
Yep, and with Kayn and with pretty much all junglers, you have to kind of keep in mind gank pathing. So that's what Mrs. Sturm was talking about there. Kayn has some very unique gank paths he can take. So the way you have to ward changes a little bit, and the way that your team can play around that, especially in a coordinated game, changes a little bit as well. We have the Olaf coming out from the blue side after we got that Darius locking in on the red side. So on the red side, the Darius, a very strong laning champion. The Olaf, a very, very good duelist and early game jungler. So if he does not snowball, he's basically just going to be running at the enemy team to sacrifice his life for nothing. If he is fed in the early game, however, he is an unstoppable force that can just tear through the team. So we have the Scion coming out on the blue side. Definitely a strong tank, strong engage, maybe a good setup for the ways that they will need to work around those objectives, since they don't have any of that good engage yet.
Ooh, and this Nautilus pick, we saw this a couple weeks ago, or a couple games ago last week. It was a new pick for who was it?
I believe it was our same person, Hilliard XD.
Oh yes, Brandon. Gotcha.
Yep, Brandon was on that Nautilus, and I know his Lux had gotten banned out in that game. That's a champion he's played a lot, so he's working up his champion pool, getting some new faces in that mid lane, so we'll see what he does with it. And some more bans coming out now. We have the Morgana, definitely not wanting to have that engage from the Nautilus blocked by the Spell Shield, and the Jinx, interestingly enough, coming out for the blue side.
I saw that. I was gonna say, I don't know if
Don't think that's something that James plays too much.
But it could be, you know, something that they just really don't want to deal with. And right now she is, you know, in a pretty good state, so I get that. Oh, also, for those of you just tuning in, I am Maestro Pants, aka Mrs. Sturman. I'm one of the advisors for the Hilliard Esports Club and one of the head coach for League of Legends team, and I am joined here by my partner in crime and life, Mr. Peter Sturman Wilson, aka Arya Deva.
And I'm the strategic coach for the Hilliard teams. So we have the last ban coming out now as the Aphelios. So the Senna and the Aphelios, those two newest ADCs / support for Senna, coming out as the last bans. Let's see what they choose here on the red side. Thinking about that choice, thinking about what kind of bottom lane they want, or maybe that Nautilus is faking us out a bit and it will be in that bottom lane. We'll have to see.
Our varsity team is coming off of 2 wins. Ooh, with the Vayne locked in.
Interesting.
Okay.
So, Vayne, one of the best tank-busting champions in the game, and pretty darn mobile, so I think they are wanting to deal with that Scion frontline. I think they are wanting to make sure that they can get away from that Olaf and kill him before he kills the backline. So, definitely a good pickup, as long as Eat Your Peas has the mechanical prowess to pull it off. I know it is one of the most difficult champions in the game to pull off well, so I'll be keeping an eye on him and seeing how he does with it. I have great faith. And we have the LeBlanc coming out, one of the other most mechanically demanding champions in the game, a ranged assassin that can have some very devious tactics with the way she can hop back around to abilities that she had previously used. So the Leona coming out for more of that hard engage along with Scion.
Yeah, and that's a scary team the blue side has between their the wall of tankness, but also then the dancing in between out. However, our team is looking pretty good, and I'll be interested to see what they pick as this last pick.
It is a individually scary team, but they are not really coordinated in what they want out of this fight. So you do have the kind of hard engage of the Scion of the Olaf of the Leona all there together, but Ezreal's a champion that really wants to kind of poke down LeBlanc, wants to get in and get out. So we'll have to see how they play around that team fight. Syndra is the last pick that comes out.
Is that a not support?
I'm guessing that's going to be going into the mid lane. We have Isaac sticking on it, Aspen sticking on it. So I'm guessing that's going to be our middle lane pick, and we have Hilliard going down to the bottom lane, but we'll just have to see.
Maybe they'll throw us all in. Hansifer will take that Kane ADC. You never know. I'm just kidding. That would be not the best choice.
Kane ADC would be very, very difficult to pull off. I guess we could send the Kane top. We could have a Darius Jungle. We could get all of it. But probably not what we are going to expect from this game. And as we are kind of waiting for the spectator delay, let's talk about these team compositions a little bit more and the matchups they have. So in the top lane, we expect that Darius to kind of be dominating. Definitely a very, very strong champion into that Scion. In the jungle, Kane, someone who really doesn't get strong until he gets his transformation. So he hits either ranged champions or melee champions and can go to one of two different transformations based on that. So we will have to see which one he chooses, most likely Red Kane or Ross. That is a little bit more CC, a little bit more frontline, but could be different. We'll see. In the mid lane, we're going to probably have that Syndra against the LeBlanc. So that is a very snowballing matchup. If the LeBlanc is able to assassinate the Syndra quickly, it will be a very bad time for the relatively immobile Syndra. However, LeBlanc is pretty telegraphed in where she can move to with her mobility. Basically, she can dash to a location and then instantaneously go back to where she dashed from. So you can kind of predict where she's dashing to, or even save your stun on Syndra for she's going back to after she goes back to that initial location. So we'll see how that plays out. In the bottom lane, definitely going to be looking for that hard engage after the level 6 from the red side. It's very scary at level 6, even though she's still so low before that. She's not too scary, but at level 6, she's a monster. And Nautilus very reliable engage. Also good engage from the Leone on the other side, but they're going to need to poke down a little bit before they can just rush in there and take on that 2v2. So as we're kind of keeping that in mind during the game, we'll have to see how they also use that around the objectives. So we have, looks like the Twitch stream, at first we didn't have the audio on the casting working out properly, but now I think we have it up and running. So apologies if anyone experienced that difficulty with it. Again, as we mentioned last time, we are kind of new to getting this all set up, so bear with us during any of the technical hiccups, but I'm glad to hear that hopefully we are online now with that. So Mrs. Sturman, kind of what are your expectations as we are moving into this game? How are you feeling about these comps?
Well, I will say, if you are like me and you just picked up some Poro snacks, I'm sitting down with some quiche, shout out to Hansifer, and excited about this game and these comps. Like you said, the blue side is a little unusual, but it just depends how they play. And, a lot of times it depends how much these teams play together.
True, and how that coordination around the early game can lead into the mid game, because even though you have those differences in what the champions are looking to accomplish, if that LeBlanc does get really fed, then she can just dance around that backline, get the picks, and get out like nothing happened. And then that hard engage gives them a great opportunity to follow up on that assassination. So it's definitely the kind of thing where the blue side is going to be looking to snowball early and carry that into a quick win.
I'm excited to see the Vayne from Eat Your Peas. I haven't seen him play Vayne as much, so I'm really curious about that. And yeah, it'll just, come down to vision and playing the map, playing to the character's strength properly, but then also playing to the team comp.
And so one thing that we do want to notice about that early game dynamic in the middle lane the Syndra does have Teleport, and the LeBlanc does have Ignite. So Ignite used to assert that lane dominance that you need on the assassin character, and the Teleport on the Syndra, even though Syndra will sometimes take Ignite, the Teleport on the Syndra is much more for the team play, for getting good backs in the lane, and for making sure that if they do make it through that early game storm of the Olaf, of the LeBlanc, they can have good map control.
Very important here. I also want to point out some really nice skins. We got the Coven LeBlanc looking nice there, and the Astro Nautilus. I haven't seen that, and I'm digging it. I'm a fan.
Yep, the Astral Nautilus coming out. We have the Astral Bard that's going to be later this year. It was just announced recently, so yeah, it could have.
We'll have to tell our support from the JV team. He
exactly.
likes pulling out the Bard.
Exactly. We could have a very creative bottom lane with the Bard Nautilus and just see how that goes.
All right.
It's very creative.
We are loading in here, folks.
All right, as we load into the game, just see how these items play out and how that's going to move. I'm not sure if on the observer side we can get the champions in their coordinated order for the LCS order. If that's not possible, no worries, but it'll make the CS comparisons a little bit easier. So fanning out into that a little bit more basic guarding of the jungle entrances. We actually don't have one of them covered on the red side and the blue side, so both sides will need to be a little bit careful there. We do have them moving into position now with the ward on the blue side covering for one of those, so looks like no funny business. Again, just covering those entrances, making sure that nothing weird is going to happen at the beginning of the game. Looks like that Kayn is going to go for that classic Raptor start that he is able to do almost unlike any other jungler in the game. So
we have some flexing up there top lane.
Yep, the Scion showing off his strength, making sure that they know, even though they can't see him, that he is a big bad champion who's going to be
big strong man.
Big strong man who's going to be very difficult to deal with. Oh, we have a good luck, have fun coming out from the Scion in all chat, and
nice. I like
back
to see
at
it.
him
Responded.
back at him from the Hilliard squad. So good on them for the good sportsmanship. Something that, as the coaches, we like to always emphasize. It's important that we learn about ourselves as well as learn about the game. So. Getting into it here, we do have that Raptor start, as we can see, and a red start from the Olaf. So Olaf is incredibly quick at clearing these camps, wants to make his presence known early. Very unique jungler in that he actually clears the camps faster when he's low health because he gains attack speed. So we'll see where he decides to take that, how he decides to path for these early ganks. Kayn moving to that red buff, might be looking for an early gank if he goes to the Krugs, or just going back to the other side of the map after.
We have some good damage trading in mid already.
Yep, mid already getting quite intense with the back and forth and back and forth. It's a very, very volatile lane, like we said. Another good Q out from the Syndra, who now does have a health lead on that LeBlanc. So with just the mid laners interacting right now, we're going to have them hitting that level 2, and that's really going to be the start of this lane dynamic if Syndra especially decides to get more poke or get that stun off of it. LeBlanc either getting that mobility or having the Q to get off more damage, or the E to get off the setup for a gank or the root.
And it looks like top lane we might have a possible gank coming.
Yeah, it might be matched on the other side as well. Both sides have warded. We know that this is a relatively common path for Kayn to clear that top side and go for the top gank, and the Olaf working his way up there. We have the gank now.
And we have it. Kayn moving in. We got the slow. Leveled up in the flash out on the Scion. Can he make it? He slowed down, but he gets out clean. That is a flash burn, however. So we'll see if they capitalize on that later.
It is a flash burn, and it is a hard matchup. So the fact that he can even go up there, burn that flash, not waste a ton of time, probably get this top scuttle for free on Hansifer is going to be great for their side. So as you can see, he's heading back to that scuttle, making sure that he can secure it. Kind of hovering towards that top lane in case Scion does over push again, being flashless. So in the middle lane, we see that health advantage has been maintained a bit for the side of the Syndra.
Oh my gosh, and first blood, he's like, I don't even need my jungler, I'll do it myself. Remember, he was chunked out pretty low, and then he was flashed down, and so Logical taking him down on his own. Now look mid, we have some action going on between those two. All right, Kayn just defending his mid laner's honor a little bit and then backing off.
Yep, Kayn just moving through, getting some poke down. He's going to be pathing to that side of the map anyway, and the other team is likely going to know, so no big deal to lay that poke as you move through. And we really do have to harken back to what we were talking about in Champ Select about how strong this Darius is into the Scion. Scion is not going to be able to trade with him early, so pushing back up, especially with that wave pushing back to him, was a little bit of disrespect there, and it was a great punch from the side of Logical.
And we have bot lane. CS going on between them. Leona looking, wait and seeing if she can get her E off, but not quite yet. She's just trying to get that relic shield locked down.
Yep, and Kane maybe looking
thinking
for
about a
them pushing
gankarino.
up.
He's thinking about it.
So this is one of those unique gank paths that Kane can take, moving through the wall. We have the
Whoa,
flash.
flash in, aggressive from the Nautilus. Let's see if it pays off. They're going in, Kane getting a little low, and that's actually not the best of trades for that bot lane gank.
Yep, you know, it was really close. It was a good try. I respect the effort, because if that flash and then Q from the Nautilus had hit the champion instead of the minion, it would have been devastating for the bottom lane of the blue side. And we see in the mid lane matchup here that Syndra has really just been keeping on the pressure, making that LeBlanc feel like she is always in threat of going down, making it very difficult for her to deal with it. Minions being pushed in, and the Syndra either roaming for some vision or maybe just deciding that, yep, some vision in the river now to make sure that she can keep on being so oppressive without any jungler intervention.
And the Reds team has accumulated a bit of a gold lead here in this early game. You'll see from the CS scores. Thank you, Observer.
Yep, so we have a quite sizable CS lead in that middle lane, and a huge CS lead in that top lane. The bottom lane also a little bit ahead for the red side, so every lane doing quite well right now, and I will slip in a quick, completely non-biased go Hilliard right here.
Go Hilliard, and also a shout out to our Observer, Egg and Toast, Caleb, a Derby alum, so thank you for helping us out.
Yep, always very much appreciated. Helping us older folk with the tech side of all this.
Oh, and while we were talking, he was dropping, and we got a death in the mid lane. Syndra's like, yeah, I'm not even phased, even though the mana's down, the health is not.
Yep, that ultimate from Syndra does so much damage if it's set up properly, and we still have a level 5 on that LeBlanc and a level 7 on the Syndra. It's going to be so hard, but we have a fight.
Ooh, top lane pushing that even more. Darius 1v1ing the Scion. And just running him down, getting the slow off, and oh, so close, so close! Oh, jump, he got it! And you'll see this is the Scion passive. When he comes back to life, he's still dead. It's just like a zombie moment. And wow, Darius, again, another 1v1 kill in top lane.
And what a dominant start from Logical up here. Hansifer setting him up with that early flash down, and he is capitalizing beautifully. If you are Scion, if you still don't have that flash, if you don't have your ult to run away, you cannot push up that far in the lane when Darius has Ghost.
Yeah, and this is Logical in the top lane has been doing this pretty well now for this tournament season. He's been getting nice little leads in the early to mid game, and that really can come into play in late game team fights. Having that kind of tankier, still damage person is really, really nice when you're trying to protect those more squishy carries. All right, Hansifer being like, Leona, what you doing? What you doing in my
He's
jungle?
saying this is my river. And this is my dragon.
Even though it's like really more of a creek, you know?
It's true. It's like a long pond.
Yes, yes. All right, and they are playing with vision around this first Drake, Cloud Drake of the game, backing once they got it set up. Saying, Syndra, we trust you on your own, got the stun down. And
Leona isn't 6 yet.
Yeah. Aspen was feeling pretty good about where he is in this position and being able to scare off those blue side enemies. We got the CS numbers coming back up.
Yep, and we can see that those leads are all being maintained and mostly growing, actually. So if we take a look back up at that top lane, we can say again that I think Darius is kind of, we could call the signature champion of our top laner here. He always does so well when he gets it, and he got another flash out.
Down.
Wow.
Oh, and that feels good. That was just solo done. He didn't even need the jungler, and that is something that they can capitalize on later, and they can even, use if in a fight around Drake. That flash is down and it's not coming back for a while. Darius cutting off his path, trying again for another 1v1 because, 2 is not enough. Let's see if he can get it. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close.
He has the shield. It might not be
enough.
Enough.
All right, he's saved, but he is chunked out enough that he's not going to be coming to the party anytime soon.
Yep, he's not going to be coming to the party, and we have a very close call in that middle lane. Wow.
Ooh, the potions are popped, the Ignite has already been used, but with that gank, Syndra living through it, that's actually very nicely done. Bot lane, we got some action going on. A gank down there, and this time, Leona is gone. All you wrote, Nautilus checking up, saying like, hey, I'll hook you in, you want it? But they decide to turn their sights to the Drake.
And this is exactly what we were talking about in Champ Select and looking at those teams. Once that Vayne hits level 6, she is so much more dangerous than she used to be. She can just run people down, she can tumble at them, and she can make their life a nightmare. So, especially with a champion that scales as well as the Vayne, you are kind of a little bit worried if you're...
Ooh, that was close. That was close.
As
nice try. But the red side secures that Drake. The score is 0-5 kills, a definite gold lead in the favor of our Hilliard Varsity team. Hey, if Vayne was doing a sport, what sport would she do?
Oh gosh, probably tumbling.
Yeah, gymnastics.
Gymnastics specializing in tumbling, but of course.
All right, and clearing out some vision in bot lane, getting things set up, keeping the gold leads comfortably in the red team's favor. You'll see we now have 2 shutdowns on the red team side, and let's see if they can keep building that and keep up their lead. So far, it is looking like a perfect game for our Hilliard Varsity players.
It is definitely quite good so far, and the thing that you really need to be looking for...
And by perfect, I mean like 0 deaths, 0, not like no mistakes.
Oh yeah, totally.
There
is a thing that in casting they call a quote-unquote perfect game, which is no deaths, no objectives, no towers, etc. And Hilliard very much still in that state right now, so we do want to kind of look at what the blue side could do to turn this back around, because there are definitely plays they can make. They might need to get off a teleport play, they might need to make some roams, but it is really so hard to make plays on certain sides of the map, like that top side, where once the Darius gets to this point, sometimes if you send the jungler up there alone with the top laner, he just kills you both, and it gets even more out of control. So we'll have to see what they decide to do.
This, David, kind of goes into what you were saying, too, with the team comps, and that their team comp maybe isn't quite as cohesive to a way that can bring them back from this deficit. So now that, you know, Hilliard has really set themselves up with a nice lead, when you have a team... Okay, alright, he's just asserting his dominance in lane. Meanwhile, Hansa getting that
jumped back.
Oh, and I don't know what she was doing, but she popped a potion, so we should be good. But that was some plates down for the Syndra, who is just being tickled, not even taking damage from anything. LeBlanc feeling like she needs to defend this turret, and nicely done, dropping that Rift Herald, trying to secure this first turret down in mid lane. Meanwhile, bot lane, they decide to go into the 2v2 and they win. And there goes the first kill on the blue team side. And congrats, it's good to see you with it. But that was a 1-for-1 trade, which honestly is not too bad for this Hilliard team. And they got that first turret down in mid. And there's another kill top lane. Oh, Darius is just not giving the Scion a break.
Oh, you hate to see it in that matchup. It's so hard to play out after that lead goes over early. In that bottom lane, though, we do have to commend the blue team on pushing back in that 2v2, because it is certainly a place that they can maybe look to push their advantage a little bit further. So once you have these sides playing out like this, as the blue team, you really need to look for where you might have a little bit of an edge, and maybe that bottom lane's where they can try and get that.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, in this middle lane, that second tier turret is already over half damage done on it. That just, you know, feels badly. Olaf looking around, seeing what of his jungle is still left there. LeBlanc saying, man, I really don't want to dance with you, Syndra. Just send the minions my way and leave. And they're getting vision down now, thinking about this second Drake that is coming up. Yep. And just a clear command. Oh, and Syndra wants this red buff. And I think Olaf should give it to her. Oh, flashing in for it! Oh, nicely done!
Look at how strong this Syndra is at this point in the game. She just hit 11. She has that level 2 ultimate. She doesn't even need her abilities leading into the ult. She just flashes for it. He goes down.
Ooh, some good damage from the Ez, but not enough. Takes the blast cone over there. LeBlanc saying, hey, I'm gonna tickle you a little bit. Syndra saying, I'm not that ticklish, and walking away. Not all this setting up vision again. Everyone putting their eyes to the second Drake, which... honestly, I think blue team might need to just give up. I don't know if they can really contest it. But you know, we'll see. Turret plating has now fallen, so that extra chance of gold from pushing in these lanes is gone for the red team, so the blue team can appreciate that.
Yep, they can appreciate that. However, that does leave those turrets with a lot less armor, so we'll see what's happening in the top lane here.
Oh, and it looks like, oh, okay, so the junglers come in to help him out, say, hey, I'm going to do, oh my gosh, so this 2v1, and oh, Bruno! All right, Darius, yeah, he was trying to defend his top lane's honor, and Darius is like, no, I got this. And he wins out in the 2v1. That is scary. That is not fun. You don't want to see that, but since we are Hilliard's coaches, we definitely want to see that. But man, that was a valiant attempt. I appreciate the blue team jungler trying to help their top laner. Meanwhile, knock. That is the bot lane getting some heavy pressure down from Eat Your Peas.
You know,
and our Nautilus.
You do have to appreciate it, but at the same time, we have to recognize this is exactly what we were just talking about, that when you have that Darius who's so strong in the top lane, you probably need to play around your advantages that you might have on the map, right? That Darius is at the point where he can just 2v1 them, and that was the Leona up there that helped out with that kill, or attempted kill.
Sorry,
so,
that's what I meant.
We now have a 5-kill Darius at 15 minutes into the game and a 650 gold shutdown. So the other thing as we move into mid lane that you might be looking to do is maybe you can send more than 2 people to get that shutdown, but man, look, the Olaf tries to go top and say hi, and he walks away limping.
Yep, he does not want what they are selling, and yep, that's what I meant, Leona jungle. We should try that out. So I'm like, oh, and caught out there, but she is a tanky girl, but she is a dead tanky girl. Now, we have the red team, after picking up that second rake, they are invading into the blue side jungle, taking what they can before backing and spending their wares. Thank you, Egg and Toast. We are checking out our CS numbers again, and you will see that definitive lead in the top lane. Wow, I mean, that's just actually, you know.
You see almost going on 2.5 times as much in that top lane. You see looks like a little bit over double, or right around double, a little bit less than double in the middle lane, depending on where the waves are falling in the moment. And the 80 carry roll
bot lane's pretty even, which is nice.
But even in the jungle, we have that slight advantage on the Kayn. And when you're looking at these gold advantages, we can kind of harken back to what we talked about in the very first game, that you really want to look at percentage gold advantage, not just the number difference. So to have a 9,000 gold lead at the 16-minute mark is quite the sizable advantage. So we'll see how blue team tries to claw their way back into this game. It's going to be very hard.
But not impossible yet. You know, a couple picks, a couple shutdown golds, but you know, it definitely is a scary thing to look up and see these people. Kayn going in there. Ooh, pull from Nautilus. Good slow. Oh, we got the Ezra down. Actually, pretty good damage. Maybe they can fall through on that. Some nice sidestepping for your P's on that Bane we wanted to see. But will it? Oh my gosh,
so
it's so close, and the flash is out. Are they gonna get it? Are they gonna do sidestepping, and he's dancing around and blast? Oh my gosh! Eat your P's. That was brilliant. I'm crying for the blue team. Oh, they see him. Oh, but no! Oh my gosh! Okay, they finally caught him, but it also cost them one.
How many can he take?
That was beautiful, though. Let's see this Darius. Double kill for the Darius. We'll see how. Oh my gosh, he's okay. Triple kill. Is this gonna be the Quadra? He's running down that Olaf. We have Nautilus helping him out and keeping him in there. And is it the Quadra? Is it? It is an ace, and it is the Quadra kill. Well, they are not calling it, but I am.
Yep, that ace call from the game client overriding the Quadra, but it definitely was one. And oh my goodness.
Oh, in your P's, fancy footwork. Like, you've heard of fleet footwork. That was fancy footwork right there.
That was very fancy. Living for so long, buying time to get to his extremely fed, now 9-kill Darius. And if they send 3 and it's not going well when he has 5, how do you think it's going to go
You've heard of 911, this is 900, and it's even scarier because that shutdown is 700 gold there. And then the top turret's down. I mean, they're sending these minions into the base.
Yeah, blue team is calling that state of emergency, the 900 call. We'll see how it plays out as they move forward. We'll see what they try to do because it is just getting harder and harder.
Second Rift Herald.
A 13,000 gold lead as we crest 19 minutes into the game.
I've been on both sides of those, having it and having it against me, and they feels very definitive either way. Leona checking in on that vision. The Hilliard team takes down that second Rift Herald, also known as Heraldine, and red team chasing them down, saying, hey, let's see what we can do. Let's test our limits and see how many people we can kill. And in the jungle, the mighty jungle, Leona sleeps tonight. All right, she goes down in that blue side jungle. Hilliard pushing in that mid wave, walking in the minions, and probably dropping Herald at some point soon.
So they had dropped Herald, yeah, but they had dropped Herald a bit ago there, and they are maybe...
Oh, there she is. Hey, Herald. Oh, they're trying to get the dancing Herald towards the end, maybe.
They are far enough ahead where they might just say, hey, let's push this in for the end of the game, make that Rift Herald dance.
And oh nope, she's gonna go down. But they're going for the end. You have lots of people attacking each other and take it away, Peter.
That is a lot of damage coming out, but this is about as close as we would expect.
I mean, this is
at this point in the game.
There are some huge shutdowns coming the way. Ezreal getting some kills, but they're really just pushing this. Those are very, very low health bars, but it's an ace. And Hilliard does have the damage to follow through with this, but they're looking their runes and we're like, maybe we don't want this quite yet. Or maybe they're just gonna walk the minions in there and end. We'll have to see, but either way.
They have the damage, but those spawn timers are just too short.
Yeah, because it's only 20 minutes in!
You have to credit the blue side with that valiant last
Very nice.
When you are this much gold behind, it is so hard to win those team fights, even if it is under your Nexus turret. So they definitely got a good shutdown there. They did get a kill on the Darius. We see he still has a 500 gold shutdown after his bigger shutdown earlier. So
yeah, there really was some really good stuff there. And if there wasn't, Zonia's here or there on the Hilliard side, it could have been even more detrimental for them. Like we said, this is only 20 minutes. Oh, and they forfeit because they know that everyone loves League, and this one would have been hard to win, so you can forfeit and go play some more League. But that was really nice to see. Again, valiant effort from the blue team side. Hilliard in a commanding victory of that. Proud of both teams. And the thing that really matters at the end of the day is vision score. So, don't even worry about that kill line. It's really all about the vision, right, Peter?
That is the support main talking, I believe. And from there, we will just be very proud of both sides for the valiant effort today. Be very proud as coaches of the dominant victory for our Hilliard varsity team. And we hope you enjoyed this cast.
Yep. Thank you guys. Good night and take care.